Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about one of the biggest things in America right now, the TikTok ban. First of all, we need to look at how big this platform is. 170 million, almost half of the US population uses this app. It's that big. In 2023 alone, $24.2 billion, yes, I emphasize that, 24.2 were generated for the US economy. That is a major amount of money. This is a huge business decision for the United States. So this is important, guys. This is super important. Okay, here's where things get complicated though. So TikTok CEO Shou Zi Chew is from Singapore. The company that he works for is based in Beijing, China. ByteDance. I'm sure you've seen clips all over of Shou Zi Chew arguing with the Supreme Court. But ultimately, why the US wants to ban this app is because it's a Chinese-based company, ByteDance, that is controlling all of the information that is coming in and out of TikTok. So they're concerned about privacy, national security, and the influence on the American people. That is the ultimate concern of the US government. Pretty much what the US government is concerned of is that ByteDance is trying to collect our information to target us as consumers. So ByteDance is collecting our data. They're looking at what we look at, what we search for, what we like. And they want to know this information because then they can market to us and produce more of the products that we're more likely to buy. So China is essentially beating us with capitalism with TikTok. And America is not happy about that. We like capitalism. We're the kings of capitalism. And we want to stay at the top of the hill of capitalism. So America does not want the Chinese to be making a bunch of money off of us like they are right now. Another reason that the American government does not like that it is a Chinese-based company is because they can pretty much put whatever they want on our screens. They can influence us. They can push the communist views that they have. And the American government doesn't like that. We like our capitalism and we like our democracy. That is the American thing. That is what the American government is pushing for. That's why they do not like TikTok and want to get rid of it. Now, I'm sure you've seen scandals with like Facebook and Instagram with Mark Zuckerberg about personal information being shared. And because he was a US-based company, they could control that. Since this is a Chinese company, national security is on the line, and the US government cannot regulate that very well. So it's very important to the US government that ByteDance sells TikTok to an American company, because then the American government can have control over TikTok. What's the problem with banning TikTok, right? I mean, we're all on our phones too much. We need to get off of them. We need to actually engage with the world, right? Well, actually, TikTok provides almost 60,000 jobs to Americans through their creator fund, through TikTok Shop. This money is going to American people. It is supplying families with food and shelter and clothes. It is literally providing for families. And thus far, a lot of people have become reliant on their TikTok income because they've done so well with it. So if we take this job away, it's basically getting rid of 60,000 jobs. And that's the equivalent of getting rid of all of the physical therapists in the United States. That's crazy. And the most important to me is the impact on creativity. Capitalism destroyed creativity, and here's why. Neoliberalism is essentially saying that people have to work too much to be creative. They have to work too much because they have to pay rent, they have to pay for food, they have to pay for gas, they have to pay for all these things to provide for their family, and they can't be creative because they're too busy working. That's why we've seen such a decline in art. But TikTok allows for people to be very quickly and very efficiently creative. It provides us the templates, everything we need. Everything is there to be creative and get your thoughts out to the world. And by taking this away from the American people, this is destroying the creativity drastically. I'm not sure if you guys have used Reels or looked at Reels, but Reels is nowhere near as creative as TikTok. You cannot do a quarter of the things that you can do on TikTok on Reels. Like, sure, you can start knitting, you can start sewing, you can start painting, you can start making music, but that takes time, that takes effort, that takes dedication. TikTok, you pick up your phone, you say whatever you want to the camera, and you post it. Literally everybody can be an actor, a director, just through TikTok. That's so cool. That's so fascinating. So many people dream of that. And we can't forget how TikTok is impacting education. Sure, we have brain rot, sure, we have all these other things, but there are so many things that teach financial literacy, new languages, chemistry, anything you can think of, history, geography, anything is on there. You can find it. And that is the amazing thing. Education is always going to continue with TikTok being around. TikTok is like a virtual classroom for a lot of people. They go in there and they learn. They learn a lot of things. You can learn so much on TikTok. You can learn a lot about the world just through TikTok. And it doesn't even feel like you're learning because you're just scrolling and enjoying. They make the content enjoyable for you. I love that this has become a debate between the American people and the American government. We've done a great job at letting them know that we want TikTok to stay around. As I'm sure you know, on January 10th, the Supreme Court held a hearing about TikTok. And at this hearing, officials made it clear that they wanted to act very quick, which is so unlike the Supreme Court. It usually takes months to get something into effect. Months and months and months. The Supreme Court is never this quick. So that should be a red flag for you. And the really interesting part is that they have the law to go into effect the day before Trump gets inaugurated back into office, which is really interesting because Trump actually vouched to take a second look at the TikTok ban because it helped his campaign so much. And the really interesting part is that if ByteDance does sell TikTok to an American company, company, they will not sell the algorithm with it. The algorithm that shows you everything on your feed. It will not come with TikTok. So that essentially deems TikTok unusable, and they have to basically recreate it. And the reason why none of these American billionaires are stepping up and buying TikTok is because of this algorithm not coming along with it. It would cost so much money to recreate this algorithm in so much time. The only option America really has is for Meta, the company that owns Instagram, to buy TikTok and basically merge the two. So here's what's gonna happen. TikTok is probably going to get banned just because the Supreme Court is moving so quickly, and they never do that. And because ByteDance refuses to sell the algorithm with TikTok, no American billionaire is going to buy TikTok. No company is gonna buy TikTok. It's way too hard to create that algorithm. But I think the US government should look at how much revenue and how many jobs TikTok is creating for American people. It's absolutely massive. And with technology becoming more and more prevalent, the US government is taking a good step for the American people, but we're not realizing it. I do think tensions could rise between the US and China just because of this TikTok thing. China makes so much money from TikTok from the US people because of the TikTok shop, because of all of the people on the platform. So I could see this going towards other things like increased tariffs, even with Trump coming into office, even more increased tariffs. Like, things could get crazy here. Let me know what you guys think about this, because I'm really torn. I don't know whether to support the creativity and the freedom of speech or to protect the American people, because the US government is making a great argument for us. Ultimately, they are trying to protect us, but at what cost? So if you did make it to the end of this video, thank you very much for watching. Please make sure you subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments.